Hey everyone, this is George, and today we're discussing the second issue of Marvel's Alien series. So beware, spoilers for the first and second issue will follow. And if you're still here, here's a quick recap of the issue. So the miniseries is written by Philip Kennedy Johnson with interior illustrations by Salvador Larroca, with coloring by Guru FX and a main cover illustration by In-hyuk Lee. In the climax of the first issue, the main character's son, Danny Cruz, stole his father's security clearance and, along with a group of anti-Weyland-Yutani people, broke into the Weyland-Yutani research station known as the Epsilon Station. They quickly get in over their heads, and things just fall apart as alien specimens are released and mayhem ensues. The second issue picks up after this. This issue opens with a scene of terror as a child and her grandfather, who are hiding in their quarters on Epsilon Station, are taken by something we don't actually get to see, but it's most likely a xenomorph. We then cut to Earth, specifically to the home of our protagonist, Gabriel Cruz. He's in bed and we see this very conspicuous, massive scar on his chest. He's then contacted in the middle of the night by the man who replaced him after he was forced into retirement as security chief on Epsilon Station by his successor. And this guy is actually outside of Gabe's home right now. So they meet and there's some bad blood between the two. And they discuss that Epsilon Station was hijacked by Gabe's son and his anti-Weyland-Yutani group. And research specimens were released. And it was decided that the station will be having a massive accident and will be released from its orbit and just allowed to burn up in the Earth's atmosphere, destroying it and leaving no evidence of what happened and what sort of research was being done aboard the station. Gabe, of course, is enraged at knowing that his son is still aboard along with other potential survivors, but his successor informs him that he's being given one chance only to go out there and recover one sample of what's called the alpha embryo. And if he can't recover it, he honestly shouldn't bother trying to return to Earth, even if he finds survivors. So Cruz is told he can take 2 top security agents with him, but Cruz requests 5 synthetics, like the Bishop models, instead, but he's denied by his successor. And next, we see Cruz traveling on a carrier ship to Epsilon Station with the 2 security agents. And they're just criticizing Cruz to his face about his age and why is he even out there. But Cruz is just kind of lost in his thoughts. He's not even paying attention to them. In his mind, we see he's flashing back to his own previous encounter with the xenomorphs. And in the flashback, we see a much younger Cruz along with his fellow security team on a mission to Hadley 2. And we see that even then, Cruz was this highly respected, grizzled, forged in fire kind of guy that he could lead people into hell and they would follow. So we then cut back to the present, and the small team of 3 then enters Epsilon Station, and we see it's in total disarray. The security agents then reveal how little they know when they begin asking Cruz about the xenomorphs, and he quickly fills them in. They then find a survivor and are ambushed by facehuggers. One of them nearly actually succeeds in face-hugging Cruz, but he's able to toss it away, and one of the security agents chases after it and manages to neutralize it, but out of nowhere he's then attacked and killed by a xenomorph. And this is the end of issue 2. So I gotta say, I'm loving this story. I like that even though this has all of the elements of a standard Marines versus Aliens story, which I would still enjoy, but this feels slightly different. I just really like that there's also a lot of mystery surrounding Cruz and his history with the aliens and the mysterious alpha specimen. It's becoming more evident that Cruz is special, and the story seems to be showing us glimpses of what makes Cruz special, like the massive scar on his chest. It seems like a major indication that Cruz was impregnated at one time with the xenomorph and somehow managed to survive the experience. And we continue to see the flashbacks to Cruz's past, but the one recurring image and the cover image of this issue keeps showing Cruz inside of like a hibernation tube or an escape pod with the words alien inside, which also supports the idea that Cruz was impregnated and just somehow survived this experience, and hopefully we learn how in the following issues. But there was another mystery that I thought was equally intriguing, and that's the mystery surrounding this alpha embryo. In the issue, when Cruz is arguing with his successor about Epsilon Station, The Alpha specimen is mentioned several times and is actually the only reason that the mission for Cruz to return to Epsilon Station is even approved. That's all they really care about. Not any potential survivors, not even any other alien specimens. They just seem to care about this Alpha embryo. And in a cryptic kind of way, his successor mentions that Alpha is Cruz's legacy. So whatever Alpha is, Cruz has a direct connection to it. And when the team makes it onto Epsilon Station, we see Cruz's expression as he's clearly disturbed when he discovers that the Alpha containment area has been breached and the Alpha embryo is missing. To Johnson's credit, while there are a lot of moving pieces in this story, at its core, it's a story about a father's love and his desire to protect his son. Even though he's made horrible mistakes, and throughout the story, as flawed a character as Cruz is, it's clear that he loves his surviving son and will literally go into a hellish scenario to try and save him. And I'm enjoying the flashbacks to Cruz's past and how they tie into the events of this story. I'm also still really enjoying the cinematic look of Larroca's illustrations, but one minor complaint that I have is that in the panel following the death of the security agent, they say his ribcage was torn from him, but the illustration doesn't really show the gory mess I imagine would result from someone's innards being ripped out by a monstrous creature like a xenomorph. The guy is just kind of lying there, appearing mostly intact, with the xenomorph holding his ribcage, but you really don't see very much gore or detail. And not that I'm some kind of gore freak, it just seems to me that having a death like that would result in like massive body injuries. That's something that I felt seemed a bit odd. But that's just what I thought about that particular panel. I feel like along with the mystery surrounding Cruz, that Cruz himself is the story's greatest strength. I mean, he's clearly a flawed and conflicted protagonist, and we can't lose sight of the fact that this man headed operations of a near-Earth orbiting station with xenomorph samples and or full xenomorphs that could endanger every life on the planet. And it seems more and more likely that Cruz contributed to the station acquiring xenomorph specimens. So in that light, he seems a lot less like a hero. But in this story, we do see he is a genuine person, flaws and all. And he will stand and fight come hell or high water. He's a man of conviction, and I think that takes some of the edge off of the fact that he's clearri pro Weyland-Yutani and is actively trying to recover a xenomorph specimen and not only obtain the specimen but take it to Earth. So I'm still loving this story and I can't wait for the third issue, but what do you all think? How do you feel about issue 2, and will you be picking up issue 3? Share your thoughts in the comments section, and as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.